welcome to another episode of Fox to Fox Report. If you haven't done so already, please hit the like button and subscribe because this is the post-match review of Leicester City versus Manchester City, played at the King Power Stadium. A very bright Saturday afternoon in Leicester with highs of 70 and lows of 66. And we knew that this match was going to be a very difficult one. Manchester City is a good team. They have talented players, they have great chemistry, and they know how to move the ball around and definitely take control of the game. However, just like any team, they had their flaws because we knew how to exactly pinpoint around their players, make runs, give good passes, and create opportunities to score on goal. Now, before we get all into that, let's first go to the starting 11 that Brendan Rodgers put out to face off against Manchester City. Very well, we see that Brendan Rodgers is keeping the same formation that he's been using in the last two matches, a formation of a 4-2-3-1. Only this time, we have three changes in the starting 11, but first we go with our goalkeeper, Kasper Schmeichel, and our defense on the left side is our first change of the starting 11, and that is Ryan Bertrand making his very first Premier League start with Leicester City, and right next to him in the center left is Jannik Vestergaard making his very first Premier League start with Leicester City, switching roles with Soyuncu, who will be taking the center right side, and on our far right is our Belgian defender, Timothy Castagne, who has started many matches with Leicester City last season, and this time his very first start of the season. So very happy to see him. And up top, our defensive midfielders. On the left, we have Wilfred Ndidi, and on the right, we have Youri Tielemans. Our three attacking midfielders, we have Harvey Barnes, James Maddison in the center, and on the far right, we have Mark Albrighton, who is taking place instead of Ayoze Perez, who received a red card against West Ham and is serving a 3-match ban. So we won't be seeing him for the next 3 matches. And up top is our striker, Jamie Vardy. Now, it looks like Jamie Vardy is the number 1 striker for Brendan Rodgers to be starting our matches. Hopefully, we see, some change happening in the up top because Jamie Vardy can only go, I don't know how many games playing up top, starting, and, he definitely could burn out. So hopefully we see some changes there. But overall, looking at this formation, we clearly see that the changes in the starting 11 are mostly defensive changes. We have Ryan Bertrand, Jannik Vestergaard, and Castagne. Ryan Bertrand bringing a lot of experience as well as Jannik Vestergaard, and Timothy Castagne bringing a lot of pace, just like Ricardo Pereira, but seeing what he can do with his speed as far as giving the ball to his midfielders and just playing down the line. Ryan Bertrand, another player that at his age can still run, can still make those plays, and can still connect with his wingers and his striker. Jannik Vestergaard, a very, very talented defender with vision, knows how to give the right passes. So a very positive change in this defense, and I believe we all saw that in the match against Manchester City. Very structural, and hopefully we can stay with this formation as far as just defensive-wise, because clearly Ryan Bertrand and Jannik Vestergaard, like I said, bring a lot of experience. But overall, a different change, but there is some work to be done. However, we are going in the right direction as improving our starting 11. But anyhow, let's go to the first half. That was played at the King Power Stadium. The first half, a lot of excitement. Fans, you're playing the reigning champions, Manchester City, and you just want to perform. And that's what we saw. We saw Leicester City trying to make runs, trying to defend. Though Manchester City took most control of the first half, we did have our chances. We did have some nice plays seen. We did have Jamie Vardy using his pace, setting up Harvey Barnes. We had Youri Tielemans giving some nice passes, as well as James Maddison, Ryan Bertrand, Timothy Castagne, most importantly, a player that loves to play down the line, loves to set up, his midfielders, if it's Albrighton or Tielemans there. He loves to set him up a 1-2 plays and just find Vardy as well, give him a through ball. But I believe as though we are giving a lot of the ball away. We do have opportunities. We do, know how to use our our players, if we have fast players like Jamie Vardy, we're gonna, lob it over. But sometimes, that necessarily does not work because we have Manchester City who are very quick and pretty much know how to read those types of plays where you're just lobbing it over the top. And Jamie Vardy, him being up top alone, having really no support, he mostly will end up, if he stops the ball, he'll end up losing it because he has like 2 or 3 Manchester City players on top of him and just intercepting that ball. So necessarily looking at the first half, I feel as though it was mostly just lobbing it over to Jamie Vardy, trying to, see if we can find an open space for him to run and try to take on the defenders. And it necessarily wasn't our best idea, our best, tactic because we kept losing the ball. Manchester City, on the other hand, were just passing the ball around on the ground. Players were opening themselves up and just receiving those 1-2, 1-2. Next thing you know, they're just getting right through us. And I believe as though we need to start doing that more. We have very talented players like James Madison, Tielemans, who can play exactly like the players from Manchester City, like Jack Grealish, Bernardo, Gabriel Jesus. So, teams like Manchester City, where lobbing the ball is necessarily not the best idea because they're fast as well. So, as like I said, we have to just play on the ground, like bing boom, like just 1-2, 1-2, 1-2 on the ground, nothing up top because that will just end up us losing the ball, and next thing you know, they just counterattack on us, and they have an opportunity to score. So not a very bad first half as far as creating opportunities. Definitely a very 50-50 match. Even though Manchester City had most of the ball, I believe as though we were still stable as far as defensive-wise and making sure the ball did not really reach the goal. Anyhow, these are, like I said, the defending champions. They know how to play. And as far as changes made in the starting 11, we were ready for those types of plays that they were giving us. So very happy again, like I said, with the defensive wise, and a very fair first half for Leicester City as far as performances, because we did have some opportunities that we just need to finish the ball and we just got to score. We got to finish those plays because Manchester City knows how to press up. And sometimes when they lose the ball, they don't have enough defenders, players to come back. And that's when we counterattack. And sometimes I feel as though when we have those chances, we kind of lose a little bit more control in which Jamie Vardy will start making a run. But next thing you know, whoever has the ball, if it's Tielemans, James Madison, or Albrighton, I feel as though we feel a little bit more panicky, in which we feel like we need to give the ball straight to Vardy, even though we have open space to keep dribbling the ball and creating our own space as far as waiting for other players to come support us. We can give the ball. And I feel as though that just doing that will just create more time for us to set up a play and score. Now, if we just, have that open space and we don't take advantage of it and we just pass it over to Vardy, that's clearly a 50-50 chance that Vardy will receive and try to score, because usually, we just lob it over the top and it just goes right past him. And next thing you know, Ederson will just catch it with his hands and just throw it back. So stuff like that, we do have great counterattacks, but I feel as though we just panic. We panic in the moment because we're too excited that we have a chance in scoring. So something that we have to work on is just relax and read the play through and not just always pass the Vardy, because that is just a 50-50 chance. But like I said, overall, it was a very great, fair first half for Leicester City. Now, in the second half, I got to say, that was more Manchester City, again, in control, us panicking, not really creating plays, all over the top, trying to find Vardy. See, that's not working. As I said, stuff like that just doesn't work when you're going against a team that has pacey players, pacey defenders, and know exactly what you're doing, because that's all we did. All we did was just try to give it to Vardy over the line. If it's coming from Kasper Schmeichel or the defensive side, we're just lobbing it over to Vardy, thinking that there's no space in front of him, that there's no defenders in front of him, trying to take the ball away from him. But clearly, everyone's on top of Vardy, making sure that they give him no space to open up and receive balls like that. So, like I said, we have to play on the ground. We have to pass. Look at our wingers. Look at Harvey Barnes, James Madison, Albrighton, and we just have to, play on the ground. Like I said, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. That is what Man City did. They just played 1-2. They opened up, found some space, asked for the ball, received it, and next thing you know, they're just walking right through us. And I will say their goal was quite very lucky. A shot deflected off Suyuncu. It just goes into a blind direction where Suyuncu can't see it, and next thing you know, Bernardo is there at the right time to just lob it in. And it's just, one of those plays that you can't really prepare for because the ball will deflect off into a spot where you don't even notice. And next thing you know, you have a player there that has the goal right in front of him and the ball and just puts it in. So either way, a very unlucky goal for Leicester City. I feel as though we still gave them a very great second half. Before the goal, we did not. That was just all Manchester City, just attacking. But after, I believe we, made some great changes as far as Iheanacho coming in. We have Lookman making his debut, and just seeing him is just immensely exciting because he has energy. Just coming on the field, we see he has those quick feet. He knows what to do as far as setting himself up to receive a 1-2 pass, and just seeing him, with all that pace, who knows what we can do with that player. He did sub out for Harvey Barnes, but I feel as though hopefully Brendan Rodgers can use both players, Harvey Barnes and Lookman, because there are two very talented players, and see if either one can play on the right side. I know Mark Albrighton is a very talented player, but going up against teams like Manchester City, who have a lot of pacey players, especially pacey defenders, using his technicality, this necessarily will not get as far as his pace will, because he is, like I said, he has a lot of technique and a lot of great passing, but his pace as far as receiving through balls is not his best because he cannot really outrun any players. He can make his way through sometimes. However, most part, defenders will be faster than Mark Albrighton and just, shrug him off. But either way, it's about, performing and about putting the right person on against the right opponent. So I do like to see, next time when we play teams like Manchester City that have a lot of pacey defenders, we can use Lookman, Harvey Barnes on hopefully both of them playing together, one on the right, one on the left, and just using that attack. And also putting in Kelechi Iheanacho for perhaps someone where we can have two forwards up top. I don't know who we can take out, but I believe as though if we have Lookman, Harvey Barnes, and James Madison in the middle, and Kelechi and Vardy up top, that would be a deadly attack because we have two pacey wingers, a midfielder, a number 10, who has that vision and knows how to pass. We have Kelechi Iheanacho, who will probably be playing that false 9 in receiving the ball from Madison, or also assisting Jamie Vardy to make those runs. Or either way, Vardy and Kelechi Iheanacho can switch roles. But having two defenders up top, I believe, will be our best bet because when we put Kelechi Iheanacho in that second half, he definitely demonstrated that he deserves to start because he has that capability of holding the ball and waiting for his players to come and support him so he can give the ball to them and try to score. Now, I don't know, like I said, I don't know who we could take out. Perhaps we can take out a defender and play with 3 in the back. I don't like playing with 3 in the back because, like I said, that does keep a lot of open space there. But if it's the right type of formation, then I believe so we can make it work. Now, just think about it. Like I said, James Madison in the center, Harvey Barnes and Lookman, either one, left or right, and up top are 2 strikers, Kelechi Iheanacho and Jamie Vardy. While we have Yuri Tielemans and Wilfred Ndidi behind us in having a back 3. That would be, I think, a very, very secret weapon starting 11 that we could definitely use. So that's just my opinion. But overall, seeing their performances, Kalichi Iheanacho and Lookman's in the second half against Manchester City, kind of makes me think that way, in which we can use that to our advantage. But overall, Lookman had a great first appearance for Leicester City, a lot of pace and just a lot of confidence there. So hopefully we can use him more, as well as Daka. Daka, Samori, I know players that signed over the summer still have not really played a full half yet with our team. And we have a lot of players that we can definitely use and substitute. So hopefully Brendan Rodgers has looked at this game and see exactly the players that he needs to be starting. But overall, like I said, having Lookman, Harvey Barnes on the left or right side and with playing with a back three while Kalichi Iheanacho and Jamie Vardy are up top, that's just my opinion. But if you have another opinion, please put a comment in. Let me know what you think. But overall, like I said, a very unfortunate goal that we have received against Manchester City. Not our best game, but I believe those last 20 minutes of that match, we gave it our all. We found the players that we need to start putting in our starting 11. And I can't really think of any negatives other than just finishing those opportunities that are given to us and just finding exactly, the type of style we need to start playing as far as playing on the ground, not lobbing it over. And overall, like I said, a lot of positives from this match. I think we can definitely improve. I don't think any player has any negatives from this match as far as losing against Manchester City. I believe as though, like me, as well as every single City fan, as well as the players and managers know now what to do on how to win these matches, because we know exactly who we have, the capability that we have, and just the chemistry that we can build with the players that we have now. So very, very excited and intrigued to see what Brendan Rodgers will put out for the next match away at Brighton. So hopefully we'll see. Now let's go to our post-match interview that Brendan Rodgers had with our Leicester City reporters.
But from the first whistle to the very end, we were in it against the champions, and we were very, very competitive. So, I'm just disappointed we couldn't take something from it, because we had enough chances with a little bit of luck. I suppose the luck that they got for the goal, we might have taken something from the game.
Well, there you go. We were unlucky. We definitely had a lot of chances. We just didn't secure them. Definitely a lot of positivity from this match we can take on to the next match. Overall, we know that we have a lot of talent in this squad. We just have to know how to use them and where to put them. But whatever, we turn the page on to Europa League. This Thursday, we are back in European competition, our second year in a row. We take on Napoli at the King Power Stadium once again. I can't wait to see who Brendan Rodgers puts out for the starting 11. Hopefully, we see more of Lookman, Kalichi Iheanacho. I want to see more of Daka and Samore, our two summer signings. And, just another game that we have to win, and another chance for us to maybe put a different starting 11. I know it's just the group stages, and either way, I want to see Leicester win every single match. But if we have to take it as a match where we can try different things out, mine as well. But either way, cannot wait for that match. I want to see more of the players that we have. Kieran and Dewsbury Hall, Chowdhury, definitely a lot of players I want to see either way. But that is all for this episode. I'll see you next time for the Europa League post-match review of Leicester City versus Napoli. Take care.